What's up, music fam? If you're a lover of R&B music, or just a lover of music in general, you've probably realized that real music never actually dies. Now, this isn't a video about whether old music or new music is better. In this video, I want to give you some foundational R&B techniques that transcend time and genre. Learn these techniques, and you can add them to your own bag to continue developing your own signature sound. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to like and subscribe. To start this beat off, I want to show you a drum technique I often use to add a little bit of personality. Instead of using just one kick, my main kick, I also add a second kick, or what I call an accessory kick. Listen up and you'll hear how, instead of using something like a tone, this technique can add some subtle, or depending on how you mix it, not so subtle personality to your drums. Pay close attention to the end of the loop, and you'll see how this also sets the pattern up for a drum fill. I'm also going to apply that same technique to the hi-hats. Listen to how using different hi-hats just adds something a little different. I like to use guitar VSTs that allow me to add those little nuances that real guitars have. Listen to the tremolo effect that Mint guitar adds when I use the mod wheel. I'm going to go back and forth between a real electric bass VST and a synth bass VST so the track won't sound so repetitive. I'll use some subtle pitch bending with this synth bass to add a little flavor. A lot of you have asked me about some of my synth bass techniques. I'll do a video soon showing some of those techniques, but here's one simple tip for now. If you listen to this bass part closely, it sounds like I'm using pitch bend more than I really am. Instead, what I'm actually doing is simply hitting the key one whole step down and releasing it. Try this. Find a synth bass sound you like and make sure it's set to mono. Now hold a note down and at the same time hit the note one whole step down, but just hit the note temporarily and let it go. Now keep playing around with this until you perfect the timing, and this is something you can work into your own production style. I'm going to really syncopate this guitar to add some soul. This guitar being slightly offbeat is what will give this track that human touch. This is one of those sounds that will be turned down in the mix, but it'll still be felt. These guitar hits are something that go a long way to achieve that classic soulful R&B sound. All I'm doing here is hitting the same chords that I played with the other guitar. But here's a pro tip. If you're ever trying to add some secondary chords like these and they sound too heavy, too full, or too muddy, just try playing less notes from the chord, or you can even just try playing octaves. adding a piano or EP, I'll often start by just freestyling and playing around with the track until I hear something that fits. But I almost always scale back what I'm doing a little so the track can breathe and leave some room for the vocals. You can also hear that in the final mix, I went back and added some tremolo effect to the EP to empty the track out and to also just add some vibe to the overall feel. If you've had the privilege of being a drummer, or even playing alongside a drummer, you'll have an advantage when it comes to this next tip. But even if you haven't, this is going to be a simple tip that can go a long way. One easy way to create a drum feel for your tracks is to simply start with a kick and snare where you do some sort of build up and just go back and add some toms. You can also add cymbals if you choose. You'll notice that in a lot of drum kits, the higher tones are positioned to the right on the keyboard, and the toms get lower as you go to the left. Just start to the right and move left until you find a pattern you like. Now here's some tips when it comes to playing synth leads. One of the most important tips I can give you is to think of your lead parts as conversations. Even though the vocals are the main melody, the lead synth is the counter melody and still a very important part of the conversation. You have to decide how busy you want that lead part of the conversation to be. Sometimes I'll add a lot of lead synth and go back and take some out after I've recorded the vocals. I often have the synth muted while the artist records as well so they don't get distracted by it. And if I have the privilege of building the track with the artist in the studio, I might even lay the lead synth after the vocals are finished, so I can build it around the lead vocals. Another important thing that will really help you master those lead synth parts is to be very intentional about the notes you start and stop on in each melody you play. Again, just like in a conversation, there's always a way to introduce what you're trying to say and a way to end it. This might not sound that important, but really just try thinking about this as you compose your lead synth melodies, and I really think you'll notice a difference. Real quick, music fam, I just want to thank all of you who have taken the time to stream or even purchase any of my music. My latest single, Think of You, has done better than I could have imagined, and I truly owe it to you all. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, you can find it in the description, or you can purchase my album down below. Thanks again for your support. It really means a lot.
Now all I can do is think of you, hoping I can see you soon. Girl, you got me wondering. Maybe I'm tripping, maybe I'm bugging, maybe I'm slipping, maybe it's nothing. But ever since this morning when I woke up, all I'm thinking about is you. Oh.
I've always loved those old school songs where the band would do some sort of accent together. It's actually always been one of my favorite parts of playing with other musicians, and one of my favorite parts of this is the string section. Listen to the effect the strings have on this track when they hit with the other instruments at the end of the phrase. I'm going to add those accents with the guitar sound to add even more emphasis to it. And I'll add even more emphasis to the accents by hitting them with more strings. Now I'm going to apply the same technique to this sound lead synth for the verse. Another tip I can give is a simple one. To gain control over your pitch bending while playing your lead synths or synth basses, set your pitch bend limit to +2 and -2 semitones. That's what I found to be the easiest setting for me to flow while using my pitch bend. One of my rules that I seldom break when I'm composing a bridge is to not start on the same chord or even chord degree that the other section started on. The other section started on the 2, so the 2 is going to be ruled out for this bridge. And because I want a sincere, emotional sounding bridge, I'm going to start on the 4. Now I'll break the chords down more in the members video, but this is basically a 4, 6 flat, 6, and then 4, 6 flat, 1 pattern. Next, I'm going to go ahead and layer my EP with the same or similar chords. Instead of playing the same exact chords, I like to play different inversions or alternate chords when I switch sounds. Somebody asked me to explain my thought process when I'm creating my bridges. This is the best way I can explain it. After I've said all I had to say in the verses, and I've really driven my point in the hook, the bridge is my last chance to really convince or compel the listener. If I'm writing a song proclaiming my love, I'm letting it all out in the bridge. I'm going to say I love you like I've never said it before. If I'm asking her not to leave, this is where I grab her by the hand and look her into her eyes before she walks away. The bridge for me is the climax. It's the culmination of everything I've said and felt so far in the song. But here's the important part. Before a lyric is ever written, before a word is ever sang, I want the music to speak this, because if the listener doesn't feel this when they hear the music, the listener won't feel it when they hear it. I decided to add a key change at the end of this track to add something really special. I'm just copying the main section over and then lowering the key. This part might have vocals, or it could just be an instrumental section, but I'm going to replay the lead synth and bass to make this part bigger. Call me crazy, but I almost always do my intros last, or at least after I have the hook laid out. I think that's because I want to hear where the track's going before I decide how I want it to start. Let me know in the comments if you do your intros first or last. And here's what the final track sounds like. Alright, music fam, that's all for now. But if you enjoyed this video, check out my other video, where I show some techniques that beginners and seasoned producers can learn from. I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, and until next time, you all be blessed.